Google is breaking into the hotel business, beefing up its hotel listings with more photos and reviews, and striking a deal to play a more active role in booking hotel rooms. Here with the details is the Wall Street Journal's Rolfe Winkler. Hi, Rolfe. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Good. So what's Google's goal here in beefing up these hotel offerings?
Well, the first thing to keep in mind is how much money is at stake for them. This is really underappreciated, but let's think about it this way. Google has over 1 million advertisers buying clicks, buying those kinds of things in its search results. Priceline and Expedia by themselves are probably going to spend about $2.5 billion this year on their own, which makes them about 5%, almost 5% of Google's advertising business. And almost all of that, or a big chunk of it, is related to hotels specifically.
So essentially, doesn't it seem like Google's putting themselves as a competitor for some of their main advertisers? Isn't that going to create some awkwardness?
Well, in some ways, yes. Let's think about what Google's doing here. So in effect, they're remaking their search results to look a lot more like what you find on TripAdvisor. Now we're talking about a lot of photos, virtual walkthroughs. They send people in to take these great, really nice 360-degree views of the lobbies of hotels. They're also adding more reviews. Crucially, what they're adding is room rates and availability. So with a new tool called Hotel Finder, you can put in your check-in, check-out dates, and it'll spit out options to actually go and book somewhere else. Now, what does this all mean? It means that you're planning more of your trip on Google, potentially. Google is getting you closer to that booking at the other end. And that ultimately should mean, according to experts, that advertising on Google is a lot more valuable.
So does that mean that the folks like Priceline, the folks like TripAdvisor are going to start to get a little annoyed with Google infringing on their business?
Well, they won't say so publicly, but you got to imagine, you talk to some folks at some of these companies privately, and they've definitely always had a very tense relationship with Google. They rely on Google for so many of their leads in the first place that helps them build such a dominant business. But they also realize that Google itself can be a very powerful intermediary the more it inserts itself into the process. And that really is what Google's doing, especially with moves like it just this week bought Room 77, which beefs up its hotel search team while giving it better technology, especially for mobile phones, for smartphones. They're also moving very hard to establish more direct relationships with hotels. This is crucial so that you could actually book via Google. You could go through Google direct to the hotels and skip the intermediary step of going to a Priceline's Booking.com or to Expedia's Hotels.com. And skip that step. That's dangerous for the Pricelines and Expedias of the world, even though you still technically could end up booking on them through Google sometimes.
Really interesting story. Rolfe, thanks very much for joining us.